Hello, Crosspoint. Good to be with you via video again and again and again and yet again, it seems. So like I said yesterday morning, I wanted to touch base with you today about the upcoming class that Bruce and I will be kind of tag teaming with on. We talked about this before the COVID-19 season came upon us. We've mentioned it a couple times on Sunday morning. Just because of all of the transition and such, I feel like we've been a little delayed in rolling it out just because we're trying to get a handle on what's happening. But I don't think we have to wait on this in order to, or I don't think we have to do it face to face. We could do it via video. And so I want to continue moving forward with the plan. And so what I want to do real quick is just address three questions: what, who, and when. So what is this class? What is this? Well, remember, it was triggered when I went through a message or two dealing with besetting sins and just dealing with, from the pulpit that is, some of the challenges that come upon all of us Christians with overcoming things, ways of thinking, sometimes sinful patterns, and how we tend to get bogged down, and wanted to offer a class to kind of help give some how-to on how to sort through some of those things. So it's the curriculum is Victory Over the Darkness, and we have a study guide. So you can contact our office and get the book and the study guide. I actually have a copy of both right here. This is the actual book, and this is the study guide. So for $20, we'll get it to you. Husband and wife teams, or if you're living in the same house because of this season, more than one person could use the book. You just might have to use a separate sheet, but it's $20. We'll get it to you. So that is essentially what it is. It's Victory Over the Darkness, $20 for the book and the study guide, which we ordered ahead of time and has been sitting in the office here. So who is this for? Who would be a good candidate for this class? Well, I would hate for someone to think, oh, unless I'm in an addiction or I'm stuck somewhere, I wouldn't be a good candidate. And even as I say that, it could be that someone who is stuck is like, well, I don't want to, if I'm in that class, then am I, it's like, you know what, go for it. Especially if you're stuck and you're trying to overcome, this would be very, very good for you. But here is my honest assessment of the different churches that I have been a part of. I started pastoral ministry in 2007. So I'm in year 13 right now. Is that about 80-90% of the people in the local church that I have encountered could use this, like 80 to 90%. And I'm including myself. I circle back to this book every couple of years because it is so foundational, specifically in dealing with the identity issue, which I think we all struggle with. And when we talk about identity, sad to say, in the first few years of my ministry, I don't even think I had a clear handle on what that actually meant. And so when we talk about identity, we're talking about who you are, and even beyond that, I guess more importantly, who you think you are. And we make choices about what we think about who we are. So usually an identity or someone's self-perception or self-understanding can be based on several things, faulty things, that is. Or number one, like, my identity is based on what I do. So if I am successful at the job site, I am a smart worker, I am an excellent leader, I'm a good manager, then I feel good about myself. Whereas if my performance is subpar, then I feel like a loser. That would be kind of the thinking. So if I'm excelling, my identity is good, but then if I'm not excelling, my identity falls and I feel bad. And so in that sense, like, performance would be the gauge of who someone is. And that's, of course, a faulty paradigm. another thing that people look at to self-assess or to identify is that identity is based on what we have. Could be physical beauty, could be physical skills, acumen of some kind with a sport, could be power, could be position. I am important because of my position, and that position makes me a weightier person, more significant. Whereas apart from that position, I don't feel like I have identity or like I'm really someone. Could be identity, could be based on how much money I have in my account. Hey, I am doing well, so I feel good about myself. So again, that would be another faulty gauge. So faulty gauge number one is identity based on what I do. Faulty gauge number two, identity based on what I have. Another faulty gauge would be an identity based on what other people are saying. So here's your kind of your crowd pleaser, if you will, which we're all going to fall in probably one of those three areas. So the crowd pleaser is like, feels good if someone else says you are the man, or you did very good there, or you are the woman, or you are all that. And so self-perception goes up based on what others have said. And so where do you think self-perception goes if people say negative things? Down, goes down, because if my identity is based on what other people are saying, then as soon as the wind shifts and the opinions of the crowds change, then down and down we go. So those are all, I think, things we struggle with. And again, I would say 80 to 90% of people in the local church are struggling with this at some level, and I'm including myself. I've got to keep coming back to it. So it's very foundational. I think it will be helpful for about everyone. When will the class take place? I'm still waiting. I don't feel like we have all the people that are going to join the class. So I'm a little hesitant to start it just like this Sunday or whenever, but we're still waiting a little bit. It will go 8 weeks long. That's 2 months, and it'll be 1 hour in duration. We'll meet once a week for 2 months and tackle this. So that's the what, victory over the darkness. The who is anyone who is specifically if there's a struggle or some kind of a habitual thinking pattern that has gotten you stuck. But even beyond that, I think chances are you, whoever you are, will be a good candidate for this. So, and the when, we're still kind of waiting, but logistically it'll go 2 months. We'll go once a week for 2 months and an hour period with each time. So if you have questions or you need clarification, let me know. But again, we've got books here at the office, the book and the study guide, and 2 people can use the same set, especially for husband-wife teams. And I would recommend, if you have a spouse who's taking it, that you jump in and just be part of that. So, all right, that's that for today. So we'll see you Sunday, Lord willing. Thank you.